sacrificing 30 minutes a day to actually start moving in the right direction is a pretty good trade-off. So it's one way to look at it. All right, let's talk about cardiovascular exercise. This is one that I tell everyone across the board they need. The strength training, when we talk about any class, everyone, no matter what your goals are, needs to be doing cardio and strength training. I don't care if you want to gain weight, lose weight, whatever. It's hard to sell to people that want to lose weight strength training sometimes. It's hard to sell to people that want to gain weight cardio training. Everybody needs both. When we're talking about cardiovascular fitness, we're talking about fitness of the heart, the most important muscle that we've got. So we need to do this no matter where we are. And with that, instead of just thinking of the typical gym exercises that are out there, which gyms are great, but we've got a lot of recreational activities, a lot of things that we can do outside and inside in order to find something that kind of syncs with the way that we like to do things. People always ask me, what is the world's best exercise with cardio? They say, should I be doing the elliptical? Should I be doing the bike? Should I be doing the treadmill? Whatever. And I'll say, my response back is, we need to find something, the best exercise for you is the one that you'll enjoy to the point that you'll be consistent with it. We need to find something that you like to do, that you'll look forward to over and over again. If I give you the world's best exercises out there and you hate it, and you don't do it, then it's absolutely worthless to you. But if you'll do it, then we're getting a lot of good out of that. So our bottom line is to find something fun. What we can do with that is pick our personality traits. And I'll give you an example of that. There's some people that are introverts, they're not real social. They probably wouldn't be best joining a volleyball league or a soccer league or whatever. They would probably be better off doing something that's an individual sport. Don't let someone else talk you into an activity just so you can have a workout buddy if it doesn't fit your personality traits. If you're an extrovert, you like being around other people, you're real social, then instead of going down to the park and just running some stairs by yourself, which will probably bore you to death, go out and find some group fitness exercises, like maybe some spin classes, or maybe some of the leagues like we talked about. Find something that fits your personality. Most people bandwagon with their exercise program. They wait till the latest fad hits, or the latest one that they heard from a family member or a friend or a coworker said, I did this particular program, and they jump on board with it. You need to really sit back and look at what fits your needs, your abilities, and your desires. Your desires are going to be something that's fun to you. If you like rollerblading, get out and do it. If you hate it, don't ever do it. That's our bottom line. It's real easy. It's an easy formula to follow. Plan for fun and be creative. And what I mean by that is when we talk to people about organizational skills on putting their health practices together and making sure that they're staying healthy on a regular basis, we said, all right, let's look at your day planner and let's look at your smartphone or your calendar or whatever you've got, and you will always find responsibilities in there only. And anything personal is usually responsibilities for the family. I got to pick up the kids, and I got to grab the dry cleaning or whatever. We need to put in and plan for fun physical activity, whatever it may be. It's the same thing as saying I'm going to go to a park and do a fitness walk or whatever, or do the parkours, or I'm going to plan a bike ride, or I'm going to plan whatever, a hiking trip. Plan some things that you can look forward to and put them on your priority list that you've got to do it. Treat it like you would work, like you have to do it, and it will actually be a little bit easier for you to be consistent with that. Use the winter months to establish your base. And what I mean by this is when we talk about exercise programming, when I first started doing wellness, I was actually in college. I was personal training with a lot of the health clubs, and the concept back then, this was 20 plus years ago, the concept back then was you need to push your people to the point where they're limping when they walk out and they're so sore they can't get up the next day, or they'll think they didn't get their money's worth. Well, it's changed now. Now I'd rather you walk out saying, I can handle this, I could have done a lot more, I'm ready to come back. And you get an enthusiasm for it, and you don't feel like it's underwhelming. That's what we want to do during the holiday months, is build our base. So we start slowly, we just dabble in a little bit, get our feet wet, and start working on it. If you jump in full force, a lot of people used to do that. It's usually a burnout. It's a burnout mentally, physically, it's taxing on your time, and it's not the best approach for most people. If you are the gung-ho type, I say go for it, but most people respond better by establishing a base and just starting. What we want to do is when we get to January, we want to have worked out all the soreness, worked out all the kinks with our schedule, worked out all the knowledge hurdles that we might have on how equipment works or how we might want to eat. Just go ahead and play with it during the holidays. Then when we get there in January, we're really versed in what we're doing, our body's adjusted, and we can hit it really strong and set ourselves up for the best year ever. We want to be independent, and what I mean by that is, I always throw this in here, and it sounds simple, but so many people depend on workout partners. Yeah. And it's good to have that, but when that person drops out, so many people drop their program because of someone else. And it's an absolute shame. Your program needs to be based on you. You're the only one getting the results out of it. So you need to make sure that you're pushing it for yourself. And if you've got partners, that's great. That's a great support. But if you don't, I cycle a lot, and I love riding with other people. But I would say 70% of the time I ride by myself because my schedule does not fit someone else. It does not fit other people's schedule when they ride. So I usually just get on and go and plug it in when I can. I love group rides, but I'm not able to always do that because of my schedule, and that's being independent. Groups are great. The biking groups are great. But there's a big biking group, a couple of representatives here. But again, if that works and you can organize that, that's great. But if y'all have a group ride and the group doesn't show up, y'all probably want to pack up your bike and go home. You probably still ride anyway. That's where we want to be. That's the concept of being independent. Measuring intensity. We're going to talk about that in just a minute with our cardiovascular program. How we want to gauge what we're doing with our intensity and our frequency and duration of our workouts. So let's look at that real quick. This is American College of Sports Medicine guidelines. When I say guidelines, I want to stress that this is a very general guideline. When someone comes in to me and they say, I want to start an exercise program, how many days a week and how many minutes per day am I going to need to get to where I want to go? And my response is, let's find out. I have no idea. I'm a crystal ball. I've got guidelines from a legitimate organization, American College of Sports Medicine, but I do not know what it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take 3 days a week with you, 5 days a week with you. I don't know if 30 minutes is going to do it. We may have to buck it up to 40 minutes. You may get 20 minutes and get great results out of that if your sleep's in check, your stress is in check, your nutrition is in check, you're fairly young. All those different things may factor into you getting more out of less. I don't know. But what we do is we follow guidelines. Minimums are usually around 3 times per week, building up to 4 to 5 times per week. And then we're looking for, there's our building our base right there. We're starting out with about 12 minutes, building our minutes over time and working up to 30 to 45. Some people come in fresh and they say, I've worked out in the past, I've got a history. We'll start them off at 20 or sometimes even 30 minutes a day. It's totally dependent on the person. So again, these are just general guidelines. The intensity is one of the most important things people miss out on. Most people do not gauge their intensity properly. And I get a lot of walkers, for example, that plateau with their weight management. They say, I'm walking, I plateau, my weight's not dropping flies. And it's a great example of providing you with preconditions to a certain movement. You walk every day, that's how you carry your weight. So when you fitness walk, your fitness level is actually fairly high for that, even if you're overweight, because you're carrying around that weight. And it's relative. The 100-pound person is working a lot less than the 200-pound person. So when that 200-pound person is walking to their car, walking to work, walking to the mall, they're physically carrying that 200 pounds. Their body is strong and fit because it's carrying that workload. If I take the 100-pound person and put a 100-pound backpack on them, now they're equal to the 200-pound person, their energy level goes skyrocketing. So how much more work are they doing? The point here is that we have to have our intensity based relative to what's going on with our body. The only way, the true way to measure that, when we can do it in the field, when we don't have a VO2 max machine hooked up to us, or we don't have an EKG machine hooked up to us, is to do a heart rate measurement. And our heart rate's giving us direct correlation. It's not the amount of sweat that you put out when you're exercising. Different people sweat for a lot of different reasons. The heat in the air around you, the humidity in the air around you, how much sodium you have in your system. There's a lot of different things that can determine sweat. You know, some people can sit in a meeting and sweat. It just depends on how your body responds. So sweat is not an indicator. Your ventilation is not an indicator unless you're hooked up to a VO2 machine. So saying I'm going to work out till I breathe hard is not a very good measure for us to follow. You don't want to be out of breath or stress, but it's not going to give us what we need. What we need to do is watch our heart rate. When you're working harder, when you're working out, the reason you're breathing harder is because your body's trying to pull in more oxygen to get the working muscles. The way it gets that oxygen to the working muscles is through the bloodstream. And the way the blood is pumping through the bloodstream, it's harder, the harder the work. It's all related to each other. So you can see there's 3 good reasons. Let me see. I don't have that. I'm going to go back. There's 3 good reasons to measure our heart rate. One is the safety aspect, to make sure that our heart is not racing and too high as we're going through our workouts. It's showing distress, and we know we need to do something about that. There's the lactate threshold. People heard of lactic acid accumulation. It's the chemical that actually puts pain inside your muscles to make them stop and make them slow down because you're doing too much. You've got a buffering capacity, you've got a buffering level in your body that actually takes that lactate and buffers it down to where it's tolerable. You actually exceed that threshold, that buffering threshold of how much your body can handle once you get up above a certain percent. Most studies are saying around 85%. So we want to stay around 85% as our max of our exercise program. But a good number of flows between 60 or 65 and 85%. You ever see the athletes out there that are running the marathons and doing the triathlons? They have the heart rate sensor on them. They're not doing it just for safety. They're doing it for efficiency. You actually delay fatigue on set and go a little bit longer if you're monitoring your heart rate. So you've got your delay of fatigue on set, you've got your safety, and the third is your fat utilization. As you go through life, you burn fat and you burn glycogen as your major energy sources. We can burn more fat and less glycogen at a certain heart rate zone. So very good. When they talk about the fat burning zone with workouts, they're right. There's good validity to that, and we do want to see what our heart rates are doing. If you buy one of the monitors, I tell everybody that's the best thing you can do is buy a personal heart rate monitor. It will actually calculate your percentage rate based on your age, height, weight, and gender. If you have any coronary risk factors, you need to talk to your physician network to make sure that your numbers are where they need to be, because sometimes they'll need to be dropped down a little bit if you've got a certain health risk, especially if you consider cardiovascular disease. So again, general guidelines, we have to find out what works for everybody, but we do follow a protocol as we build the program. All right, when we talk about the reasons for exercise, why we do this, most people think that we're just doing this just because we're trying to drop a few pounds and burn off a few calories. But when you look at the numbers, 70% of illnesses due to poor lifestyle choices, including lack of exercise, as reported by the Wellness Council of America. 70% of illnesses is strong. It's for us to say that we can avoid a lot of illnesses that are out there, not just with exercise, but exercise plays a major role. We can actually deter being sick with exercise. We're going to help do that. America's #1 killer, men and women, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, can be prevented with exercise. And numerous studies out there just showing that as we go through exercise, it's fitness for the heart when we talk about cardiovascular fitness. What we see is resting heart rates actually drop with people as they become more active. And the reason we see that is the heart is stronger. It's pumping more blood with each contraction. It's called a higher stroke volume. And because of that, the heart is actually having to work less hard to do the work. And that means we're not stressing it. We're getting the #1 killer. So half of us stood up in this room, and then one more stood up. That's how many people are statistically going to die from heart disease. So it gives us a good vision of what we can do to actually combat that. All right, then we've got the Surgeon General. And when you talk about the Surgeon General Board of Obesity and all the different things they talk about, they don't give biased opinions. They pretty much give only factual-based information. How many things you gain from telling you one piece of information and then trying to sell you a pill on top of it. So, good information, and they for years talked about the benefits of physical activity. CDC, Centers for Disease Control, of course, has said that this is actually an achievable means to a healthier life. So all the legitimate organizations have chimed in as to the importance of exercise. We've got to have that. Outcomes for exercise, here's what we're looking for. Like we talked about, increased stroke volume, less stress on the heart, a lower heart rate over time. If your heart rate's plummeting, then there's a problem, of course. We've got to get that fixed and checked out. But if your heart rate is slowly starting to drop as far as your resting heart rate, you're pumping the same volume of blood with less contractions because your heart is stronger. And that's where we want to be. Take your heart rate when you first get up in the morning, you have a close estimate to your resting heart rate. Improved body awareness, self